this high risk, high reward penny stock just pulled 150% overnight, and I genuinely think this might just be just the beginning. Ticker symbol DTREF, which is a foreign stock which is traded on the Australian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol DTR, just released major news. So as we can see right here on the company's press release, the company's Colossus project in California is gaining recognition for its earth, minerals, and resources from President Trump himself. As you can see right here from this screenshot of Donald J. Trump, the Colossus mine, which is for DTREF, American Second Earth Mine, has been approved after years of stalled permitting. So what does that mean for the stock? Essentially, what we have over here is a stock that pulled 100% up and with just 24 million shares exchanged. So what we have over here is a stock which is currently trading at really ridiculous prices with a lot of upside potential. As you can see over here, this traded only 24 million shares, and this might be just the beginning. For these types of plays with big names like Donald J. Trump behind them, supporting them, these stocks can actually go bananas, and you can actually see a 10 bigger from here pretty easily. Now, we do need to address the fact that the main stock, DTR, which is traded on the Australian exchange, just pulled, let's see, 232% overnight. And DTREF, which is the same company just traded on the OTC market, which is the US stock exchange, just pulled 100%. Now, because of the fact that DTREF is traded on the OTC and the US market, it's really much more tradable. Now, as you can see in the tweet right here, DTREF, if the estimated reserves of the Colossus mine project are 1.1 million ounces of gold and the current market price is 3,000 per ounce, you can calculate the total estimate value of the gold reserves as follows: 1.1 million ounces, 3,000 US dollars per ounce. This leaves them at $3.3 billion USD for the amount of gold that the mines have. Now, of course, we cannot know if that's the right amount of gold, but when you take that into consideration and you actually just put, for example, 1/10 of the amount of gold and you just pour it into the company, the amount of the valuation of the company just changes completely, and there is no reason for the company to stay at the current prices. Now, if you take that into consideration and you just take like 1/10 of the amount of gold that they estimate and put it in the current company with the current market cap, this stock shouldn't stay here for much longer. And again, you need to remember that Donald J. Trump showed recognition and showed support for these mine specifically. So what am I doing and what you should be doing potentially if you want to benefit from this play, because this can actually go bananas. I added it around 0.080 and I'm waiting for a pullback to actually add more stock, because I do think this is still a hidden gem. It has a big potential to move upwards and give you that sweet 10 bigger gains even from these levels. I am waiting for a pullback though, because I don't want to slap the ask, but if I will see that a lot of volume pours in and a lot of people start talking about it, I might just slap that ask. We already saw it trading at around 300 and it pulled back to around 200 to 150. I do think this is a really decent entry point as long as dilution stays out of the picture. And personally, I wouldn't go super heavy on those because I like to hold a smaller amount of stock and just ride with it for the long run. I wouldn't want to see this stock goes down below a penny again, because I actually think that this might be the mark for the end of the run, but I do think we're still early on this one. Now, another stock I'm keeping my eyes on is FUNR, which I actually called a 0002 on my Discord for free. Again, if you're not in the Discord, what are you doing with your life? You don't like money? I don't understand. But if you like money, join the Discord. It's free. I called FUNR at 0002 and it's currently being trading 500% upwards at 0010. I do think that if FUNR gives good news regarding the reverse merger, which they said they have a huge week ahead, huge, all is on track with the hashtag AI and Ionic liquids. I do think that if they bring to the table a good deal, this stock could potentially move upwards, but I wouldn't search for entry point right now. I do think this is a little bit too high. I would like to see a little bit of retracement as we saw on the chart last couple of days. 0005 is a great entry point, and 0006 is still a good entry point. I do think this stock can pull 100 to 200% up from here, because as we saw in the past, it pulled massive moves upwards of that 2 penny mark. So it might just pull a crazy move like that, but I wouldn't count on that. Personally, I'm waiting on a pullback to add even more shares, and this is my game plan. And now, if you're not yet on the Discord, what are you doing with your life? I literally call these plays every single day, and every single day these plays make and print money. So just join the Discord and smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and gained some insight, and don't forget to share it with a friend that likes money.